It's like just a sticker with a little bit of under
Right.
boob. Seriously, like we're all just dressing up. Like, why are you being elitist? Don't be
Yeah.
elitist. Because like I could have been making money doing this the whole time. Well,
I
usually my
mean,
cosplays, if you want to try making it, start with something simple. Don't be like, I want this crazy ambitious project to be my first one. And it's grown into absolutely insane things now. Like,
right.
yes, gimme, gimme, yummy, yummy.
Welcome to Art Talk Connect. This is episode 11. I think it's 11. We are here with Anais. She is a wonderful, awesome cosplayer that's just like killing it right now. So, without further ado, I'm actually going to turn it right over to her to explain her origin story.
Well, I'm going to be very obnoxious and say it's Anais, not Anais.
Anais. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get it.
Um,
I'm gonna get it. You
it's
know, we
okay.
don't
It's
see each
okay.
other.
I'm used to it. Because
Anais.
everyone like Gumball, it's Anais and
Right.
Gumball, so people usually say that. So I
Oh,
totally understand.
gotcha.
Perfect.
But anyway, tell us your
um,
origin story.
well, I am a cosplayer and content creator, and I've been cosplaying for a minute now. But even longer than that, I've been sewing for over 2 decades,
Oh, wow.
since I was 7. And I learned how to sew because I was a very gangly kid. Like I wasn't very tall. I've never been tall in my life, but I was very gangly. So I had like long legs. So if something fit my on my waist, it didn't fit lengthwise. My mom's like, you cannot wear those Hoochie Mama shorts out. I said, fair enough. So I started sewing and learning how to alter clothes and make my own clothes when I was 7. And that turned into costuming for friends' parties, like when they had themed parties. I didn't celebrate Halloween growing up because of religious reasons. I do now, though. It's my favorite holiday. But would get into comic books. I wanted to cosplay comic book characters, and that's how it started when I was in high school. And
Ah.
it's grown into absolutely insane things now.
What made you want to cosplay comic book characters and everything?
My dad had a huge, like huge comic book collection since
Mm.
I was like a little kid, and I would go sneak reading them even though I'm not supposed to because they were like mint condition.
Hmm.
And he had like cards that came like of some of the characters, and I just really liked a lot of the cute girly characters. Like I don't know, just like their costumes were so cute, and I was like, I want to be that. And then my dad did he used to go to Comic Cons, but when they were much smaller than what they are now, like way back when in like the
And you get
70s.
in for free.
Yeah, no, really, that's what he's like. He was telling me, he's like, yeah, I used to be able to get in for free. And I was like, that's crazy. But he was telling me about cons and stuff, and I was like, that's really fun. That sounds fun. And I started looking into conventions and like how I could go and do you have to dress up? And I was like, well, I want to. Um, but yeah, I just kind of got into making costumes that way.
Now, what was your first cosplay?
Poison Ivy. But I wanted to do the bodysuit version, but my parents were like, mm-mm, because I was a child. So I did like a dress of
Nice.
her.
Very
And I
nice.
was like just hand sewing leaves all over.
Did it hold together well, or
Oh
did it
yeah.
come over? Oh, really?
I'd already been sewing for like 7 years at that point. So
Gotcha. So I guess what got you into sewing? Like your passion for that?
my abuelita taught me how to sew when I was young because things just didn't fit me. And I was like, I want to wear cute clothes. I learned how to alter first. Just like hemming pants was a huge thing. I am 4'11" and a half now, but when I was young, I was always the smallest kid in my class. So I always had to, pants would be too long. So hemming was the first thing I learned, just to have clothes that fit me without like just rolling them up because that was uncomfortable for me.
And did you wear that cosplay like at a comic convention? Or it was just something like
Yes,
you did? Oh, you did? Okay.
it was
Okay.
a local thing. It wasn't like anything crazy. Like, they used to have like local, well, they still do probably local library conventions.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and there was like one where near where I lived because I lived in the middle of nowhere. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
I that's actually new to me because like for some reason I don't know why I never thought like libraries would have conventions. So I'm just recently discovering like last year like there's conventions
Yeah, it's
actually.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're free and their tables are cheap, which is very nice.
And it makes it accessible for, especially for people who are like, I don't know if that's something I like. It makes it really
Right.
accessible because like you can't just go to Katsu. Well, some people do go to KatsuCon for their first one, which is totally valid,
Right.
but it's a lot more expensive and a lot more to do to go to KatsuCon as your first, or New York Comic Con for your first con ever.
What was the thing that finally said you got you to say like you want to do this for a career path?
I've been on Instagram for longer than I've been guesting at conventions, but I was making cosplays. I used to be a professional art model. Um, I still do modeling, but it's more like UGC and stuff for specifically for like swimwear brands, lingerie brands, type of like stuff like that. But I was like an art model, and so I had already had a following on Instagram, and I was like, I started getting back into cosplay, like posting cosplays and stuff.
Hmm.
And some of my fans requested me for a few cons, and they reached out to me, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to have a table at the con? You can sell some of like you can sell your prints, you can sell merchandise. We'll pay you to be here." And I was like, "That's the thing.
Yeah.
I could have been doing that this whole time." I could have been making money doing this the whole time. Well, usually my cosplays end up costing more than I make anyway,
Hmm.
but recoup some of the funds.
Exactly. Now, do you make those cosplays like all your cosplays from scratch, or do you kind of
Not all of them.
okay?
I Some of them I thrift stuff. For PAX Unplugged coming up, I definitely have a lot of thrifted pieces or clothing pieces I already own because I'm cosplaying from like board games and a lot of the characters are more plain.
Hmm.
But for like gaming stuff, anime stuff, I typically make them from scratch just because like their designs are crazy.
Right.
And how am I supposed to find something? But I do have a few store bought stuff too, just like I got it from like a store bought or secondhand from other cosplayers.
Okay.
Save money.
Gotcha.
It all cosplays valid. I'm not one of those people who gatekeep. I like making my own stuff. That's just because I like things to fit me a certain way, and
Right.
I'm autistic, so I don't always like when things are weird. So I like things to be a very specific way, or
Uh,
I might get overstimulated with how it feels on my body.
So you don't ever like, I know there's what easy cosplay and stuff like that. Like, do you ever import stuff?
I've gotten stuff from, but it's usually like different versions, like a onesie of like Mimikyu. Like I got that
Mm.
recently, but it's not like well, I have in the past like bought stuff from or been gifted stuff from other cosplayers that are from those sites, but then I alter them anyway because the sizing is crazy. One, it's like here's a size that isn't even what the size chart says, and I just have to alter it because I'm like I can't. But if you can wear things that don't fit quite properly, more power to you because it's less work. I wish I could.
Yes. My problem is I'll try to cosplay and I'll like trust in those sites and I always get the size wrong. So it's like I get them from
Yep.
China or wherever and they're like half my size. I'm like, shit.
Even though you
Like,
follow the size chart, I know you follow the size chart. It's like okay, this should be my size,
yeah.
and you get it's like
My thing is like, oh, at least two sizes bigger. And then I get it and it's still small. And I'm like, oh my gosh. How do you balance your schedule? Because you do a lot, like,
I don't. I don't. I'm sorry.
right.
Bad answer, but I my sleep schedule is messed up. If I didn't have this highlight under my eye, I just literally fixed it because I've been out all day. And I was like, okay, don't look like you haven't slept. But yeah, my sleep schedule is pretty messed up. I just kind of go, go, go. That's
Right.
just kind of how I am. I'm just like, okay, keep going, keep going. And once I'm like sitting for the night, I'm like, oh, it's difficult, especially because I'm chronically ill. So
Hmm.
I cannot tell if I'm going to have a flare up. One of the cons I guess I was having flare up during the con, and I was like, oh no. So I had to take like really strong meds, and I was still in pain, but like you just have to smile through it. But
Right.
like if I get a flare up when I'm supposed to be like streaming, sometimes I'm like, I can't today. I'm sorry. I just literally cannot. Like, because I don't want to get out of bed because I'm in pain. So
Hmm. So you stream, how many days a week do you stream?
um at least three. But I try and do I try and do every weekday, then one weekend. So I try and do six, but I do at least three every week.
Gotcha. And what do you do on your streams?
I'll do my makeup. Sometimes I'll get into cosplay. Sometimes I play games. I get gifted games sometimes from developers for small indie games. So we'll play those, and they're really fun because I like bringing a voice to lesser known games. So
Gotcha. I actually want to go all the way back to the beginning.
no problem.
What what got you into modeling?
It fell into my lap. Um, I was training to be a ballerina from the time from the time I could walk
Mm.
until I was 18. I danced semi-professionally, and then I broke my foot for the third time and got permanent damage. And they said you cannot go back up on point, or your foot. What do you like? Either you get surgery and maybe you can go back up on point when it's healed, or you don't go back up on point and let your foot heal and don't get surgery. And I said, well, I guess I'm just gonna not get surgery.
Right.
And then I was going to university, had to change my major, switch school, literally switch entire schools because I was at school for dance.
Hmm.
And their arts program was great, but their other stuff was because they were more of an art school.
Right.
Um, so I switched schools and I just was approached by a photographer asking if I would want to do a TFP trade for print shoot.
Mm.
So basically, it's free. I get all the picture, well, all the edited pictures. I can use them for portfolio, whatever. And I did. And from there, it just kind of blew up.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you were a ballerina. Wow. You got a lot of
I've lived a
things.
million lives.
Yeah, you live like a whole bunch of different lives. That's cool. So you think you would have been a professional ballerina if you didn't, if that
Oh,
didn't?
not now. I would have been retired because I'd probably need to get like hip surgery and knee surgery because ballet is brutal on you. Um, but yeah, that was the route I was going down.
Mm,
Would I have made it? I don't know. I had auditions and stuff lined up.
right.
Um, like I was planning auditions for like the upcoming years. I was 18,
Mm,
I was planning on stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have been good enough to make a ballet company. Maybe I would have.
right.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
So I don't like to think about it too much.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Do you do any like alterations to like tailor it more to your personality, that personality, like your characters?
Depending on the, well, depending. Maybe
Mhm.
not personality, but Dota 2, do you know what Dota 2 is?
No.
It's a MOBA. It's like League of Legends,
Okay.
but better. Um, and I like to cosplay all of the Uggy men. Like I take the Uggo men and turn them into hot waifus. That's
Hmm.
not really my personality. That's just my preference on I'd
Right.
rather look at a very attractive woman than a man,
Do you keep like a
typically.
mustache or anything
Um,
on?
no, well, for one coming up, he is gonna have a well, she is gonna have a full beard just for the not for the stage, but for like pictures and stuff. But when I'm on stage for that one, it's just gonna be waifu. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
I don't know
Cool.
if that counts. It's
It
not really
does count. It
personality.
counts, yeah.
Oh, whenever I do diva, I do a curly brown wig because the straight hair does not look good on me. I said it's just Latina diva. No, she's Latina.
So what is your favorite part of your cosplaying job? Is it like the building of it? Is it the going to the conventions or?
It's connecting with my friends. I love cosplaying with my friends. So whenever I have something where I can do a duo or like a big group,
Mhm.
I'm like, yes, my friends. That's my favorite part, seeing my friends and getting to hang out with them, especially because I have friends like overseas in Europe and the UK, and I only get to see them at like Dota events.
Do you go overseas and do conventions too?
Well, not quite conventions, but I do like the Dota lands. They have a cosplay showcase and they bring cosplayers to go on stage as your favorite hero. So it's
Gotcha. What would you give as advice for someone who's first starting off cosplaying in general?
cosplay does not have to be expensive.
Hmm.
People are like, I want cosplay, but I don't have money. Yeah, me either. None of us, we're all broke. It's 2025 and we're living in America. We're broke, trust. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can closet cosplay, just like you like a character, you have something that maybe they'd wear, or you like there's a character with a similar hair color as you. You don't have to buy a wig, which is always the best when you're like, yes, I don't have to wear a wig.
Hmm.
Buying secondhand is so good. There's places like Depop where people sell their old cosplays that you can get for a lower price.
Right.
And I think if you want to try making it, start with something simple. Don't be like, I want this crazy ambitious project to be my first one, because I even get discouraged when I take on too much.
Hmm.
And I've been sewing for over 20 years. And if I take on too big of a project, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to do this anymore. But I always finish. I'm like, oh, I don't even want to. Sometimes I
Just
take a
throw it
little
in the corner
break.
like, fuck that.
I'll take a little break. Like I'll like put it away for a few months and be like, I cannot look at this anymore. But when you're a new cosplayer, that is discouraging. So start with something simpler, or like if the character has a school uniform, that's pretty easy to make. Pleated skirts are a nightmare, but they're not too complicated. Trust. And it's a good first project. Um, so something like that, or you can get like school uniforms basically anywhere. Like Amazon has them super cheap. I personally don't shop at Amazon, but it's super cheap if you for accessibility. Like it's super easy to get things like that and do a version of the character before you jump in on the bigger project to see if you even like cosplaying the character.
So these conventions that you go to, You get invited to them?
Some of them.
Is there like an application or anything you have to apply for sometimes, or
Yeah, some of them have applications or like where people a lot of times they have requests like where you can request someone, and I tell my followers when they're like, well, when are you gonna come to the convention near me? I'm like, find one that you can request me for because I don't know what cons are near you. I don't live
right,
there.
right.
Um, so whenever people are like, I really want you to guest at a con near me, I was like, well, reach out to them, see if they have cosplay guests. And if they do, then you can reach out to them. Or other ones, like I have applied, like for most of the ones I do in Europe, I apply as a content creator. For PAX Unplugged, I applied as a content creator. So some of them do have online forms where the creator applies, but other ones will reach out to me directly.
What is your favorite con that you've been to?
I don't know, Katsucon has a special place in my heart. It's where I see a lot of my friends. Because even international friends will come to Katsucon because it's a big con.
Gotcha.
Um, it has this very special place in my heart. So probably Katsucon.
I have yet to get to Katsucon, and I'm from Maryland, and it's literally like
Oh my goodness.
it's like 15 minutes from my house.
Have you
Like,
done MagFest?
huh?
Have you done MagFest?
No, I haven't done that either. I
I was gonna
always, you
say
know what? I should apply after I get off with you. I should apply to those because I always end up just missing the date. How do you go about monetizing your convention appearances? Do they pay you at all, or is it just you sell stuff?
it depends on the con. Some cons cannot, like a lot of smaller cons especially, cannot afford to pay content creators, but they give you a lot of times if it's a multi-day con, they will provide you with a hotel room. You get like a table where you can sell your stuff, which is really wonderful because selling signed prints, people eat that up. Like,
Right.
yes, gimme, gimme, yummy, yummy. And I recently came out with merch, but that's newer. And stickers, people love stickers. But some cons will pay you. I have some cons that I guessed at that I do get paid to be at,
Mm,
along with having a table and a hotel room, which is very nice because hotels are expensive.
absolutely.
And besides that cons, like I also have like Ko-fi goals for like sometimes for conventions where I crowdfund being able to go to certain conventions or
Oh,
I sell prints and stuff like that.
oh, that's cool. So you crowdfund to go to different conventions and stuff.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. Like, I would have never thought of that because it's like there'll be like conventions and the tables are like 500, $600.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how the hell am I going to raise this before the convention? And it's like, I never even, yeah, you were putting me on game.
I
Actually,
got you.
that is a good idea.
Well, because people are like, why have you never gone to this convention? I'm like, because it's expensive and
Right.
it's such a big convention. They don't have cosplay guests. Like
Hmm,
sometimes I'll have a content creator badge, but that's not the same as guesting. That's just you get a free badge. So I'm like,
gotcha.
it's still expensive to like travel. And so I'll be like, if you want to see me at this specific con, here's Kofi goal if you want to crowdfund because people
Right.
will ask me, and I'm like, well, if you really want me there, and like even if I only make a little bit towards it, if I, it's still nice.
Right. It's better than
That's
playing
like dinner,
the whole thing.
you know?
Yeah. I totally get it. What conventions do you like better, smaller or bigger ones?
I'm a little shy, so I tend to prefer bigger conventions because if I get overwhelmed, I can just put on like a cozy, like Kenma from Haikyuu is like one of my favorite cosplays because I put him on, I'm invisible all of a sudden because it's loose, it's just like a boy wig. I do my boy makeup and then I'm like invisible, nobody sees me, and I'm like, oh, this is so nice. When I'm guesting, I don't get that luxury. I love meeting people. I do have like a little bit of a table barrier, so I can like decompress. I don't have to like be around people. But yeah, I get a little overwhelmed with people. But like, I don't mind being a big crowd when I'm invisible.
Right.
So it's kind of nice. Big cons, I get to just like blend in more as long as I'm not wearing like a flashy cosplay where people are gonna be like, "Oh, I recognize this cosplay," you know?
What was your weirdest interaction with a fan and your like best interaction that made you happy?
I have so many weird interactions. I don't know. Um,
The life of a cosplayer.
I was dusting and I was in, Among Us.
Yes.
I was in my, this was like 2022 maybe. So it was like after Among Us was popular, but I hadn't gone to conventions in a while because I am immunocompromised. I'm not going to conventions until like is better.
Yeah.
So 2021, I was like 2020, 2021, nothing. 2022, I was back. I was like, okay, convention time. And I was in Among Us because I was like, I don't care if it's not popular anymore. I like this cosplay. I made it and I want to wear it.
There you go.
So it's like a cute little bodysuit. It was like a pinup version of the pink Among Us.
Mhm.
And I made like a little Among Us plush because you know how they have pets. So I had a little pet. Um, and I turned around to grab something for someone. And one of the photographers was like, I turned back around. He's like, oh no, turn back around. He didn't ask, can I get a picture? He just said, turn back around. And I was like, oh no, I don't really feel comfortable. You know, this is a little high cut. Like, and he was like, yeah, why do you think I'm asking? Got him kicked out. Because, oh, the
Very
same
bold.
con, someone was just, at the same con, I was just walking, someone was just filming my butt too. And I was like, okay, bad con. It's not a bad con. The people who run it are amazing. It's just, it's always me. This year too, I went to the con and I got harassed by a man. And I was like, I got like sexually harassed. And I'm like, great. It's just the area, I guess. Like people feel bold. I
Right.
don't know.
How do you handle boundaries?
I have no problem just speaking my mind. I'm very blunt in my daily life.
Right.
Um, Probably the autism, but you know, I'm very blunt. Which I don't think it's mean, but you know, when a guy's like being weird, he's gonna say you're being mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like this one guy, he was yelling a lot. I was like, please, I was having a flare. I was like, hey, I understand you're having fun, but please stop yelling. I have a headache. Like you're right in front of my booth. Please stop yelling at my booth. Like if you're gonna yell, please go somewhere else. I wasn't rude, and he's like, you know, you're really attractive, but you've got to watch the attitude. And I went, excuse me. My friend who was with me, she was helping me. She stood up and she was like, you do not understand what these people go through dealing with people like you. And I was like,
Yeah, yeah, just go away. Like
mhm.
just move from in front of my table. I guess it's like,
I wasn't even like stop yelling. I was just like, if you're gonna yell, can you not do it right in front of my booth?
hey,
So that was two bad interactions. I didn't even talk about I
what is
said there's
the
good ones, but I didn't
good
even
interactions that you've had, the most
I
memorable ones that
I
made you want
I
to go,
have
yay, I love this.
I have great interactions. There is one of my followers. I had met her at Maryland SellerCon, like the one time they did a 2 day con,
Hmm,
and she was back at another con I was guesting at, and she was like talking to me, and she's like, I was talking to her because I remembered her. She's like, yeah, we met. I was like, yeah, I remember you. She's like, yeah, you've just really inspired me, blah blah blah. And then like I was like, that's so sweet.
hmm,
And then same con, another girl was like, hey, I follow you. You really inspired me to join the cosplay contest when I saw you were going to judge because I really wanted to get your feedback on my cosplay. And
right.
that's so nice. I'm not a kid person, but I'm pretty good with kids, and I always have
Hmm,
a candy bowl, so that when kids come by, I don't always do the most safe river cosplays, and I don't want them flipping through my stuff too much. So I go,
right.
hey, would you like candy? And then they get distracted and they're always like, oh my gosh, thank you. I like your cosplay. So it's always cute. It's always nice to see kids wanting to cosplay and encouraging kids to cosplay.
Yeah, my comic is more for adults. And they always want to look at the comic. And I'm like, no. And the parents will come by, like, oh, how much is this? And I'm like, no, just put it down. Just it's not for them. Just
It's
put
not
it.
like I don't have anything like crazy. Like it's not
Right.
like anything crazy, but like I have some bodysuits, they show some booty and like my regular stuff. And I'm like,
And I understand. They'll be like, huh. And next thing you know, they grow up and they have like this repressed memory. And it's like they're all messed up in the head. So
it's like just a sticker with a little bit of under
right.
boob, but I'm still like,
Right. Like, embarrassing. For monetization, so you do the conventions, you have your Twitch. What are some other ways that cosplayers can monetize to get like into a full life of cosplay?
Instagram has monetization if you get to.
Does it?
Facebook does too. I just got invited to do Facebook. I was like, when's the last time? I don't post on Facebook, but my Instagram posts automatically post to Facebook.
Gotcha.
So they were like, hey, do you want to make money on your Facebook posts? They're doing well. And I said, they are. Thank you. Yeah, it's like I don't make much on Facebook. I make like maybe like 20 bucks a month on Facebook, but like
Right.
that's
That's
free because I don't
something.
even post. It's also free because I don't post anything. It's just double posting from Instagram.
Oh, there you
I sell exclusive like behind the scenes stuff
go.
on because I have a Ko-fi subscription and then I have a Patreon subscription. I'll sell exclusive behind the scenes stuff of making of cosplays, and then I'll also do like exclusive photo sets of cosplays on
Gotcha.
those sites as well. So
Very cool. Do you ever sell any of your cosplays that you made?
sometimes, but it's hard because I make them to my measurements and finding someone like sometimes I have, but that's for more like stretchy ones because it's easier to find people because it's made to these measurements, but it'll stretch more and it
Mhm.
can fit a little bit smaller, can fit a little bit bigger. But like things that are like constructed that are made perfectly to my measurements, not so much. Props I do. I My Bakugo gauntlets I sold.
Right.
Um because props are a little bit easier because a lot of people can fit into it.
Hmm.
It's just a prop. The Bakugan gauntlets, you just had to make sure your hand was small enough to go through the hole.
Got
And some teenager bought it, so perfect. Teenage girl is like, perfect, these will fit you nice. Props like staff, sword stuff, easy to sell because you don't need to be a certain size. Just sometimes the height, if it's supposed to be a certain height, that's where I get into issues because someone had bought something and they're like, I didn't realize how short you were. And I was like, right.
it.
Because it's a little bit, it's shorter than they are. And I was like, right. Because I made it taller than me, but
Right.
that doesn't help someone who's taller. I don't like selling things for the price I make them if they've been used a lot. So
Got you.
if it's like, especially a prop that I use multiple times, I'm like, because I've worn that cosplay multiple times, I'm like, I'm not gonna sell that for like the cost of labor
Right.
because that's crazy. Because I made
Hmm.
that for me.
Right. So how do you go about pricing different items, even your merch? How do you go about pricing that?
I usually start higher than most people would because you can always lower your price. Raising your price once you start at a price, people do not want you to raise the price. Raising the
Right.
price always seems sus to people, even though it's not, inflation. Ever heard of
Yeah.
inflation?
Yeah.
Because I'm still charging the same prices as I was charging in 2017 for like subscriptions. I'm finally raising them on November 1st. I've never raised my prices, so I told people I was like, I'm raising prices. If you subscribe now, it won't get raised for you though. But I usually start higher, especially for like prints and stuff. I'll start higher than I think people will want to pay, like slightly higher than I think people will want to pay, because people will
Right.
pay it.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people undervalue their work. My friends, I'm always like, what do you mean you're only selling like a print for $5? Like a big
Right.
print. I'm like, raise
What?
prices.
I look at people like they're crazy at these artist alleys. I'm like,
Stickers for a dollar?
selling printed, yeah, $1, a commission for $1, prints for $10. Like it should be 15 at least. Like, what are you doing? And then they walk away and they're like, oh, I can't make it as an artist. I can't do anything. It's like, well, your prices suck. Like,
It's because people, especially like, you don't have a social safety net of, if you're pursuing this, if it falls through. So a lot of people have been told, oh, you can't do it. So like, why, how are you, by like their family or their friends, which is horrible. Like, why are we
right,
not encouraging our people? Why are we not lifting each other up? I do not understand. Um, but they're told like, oh, you can't be a cosplayer for a living. You can't be a full-time content creator. Like, prices, you think someone's going to pay $20 for a print? I was like, yeah, a sign print, yes they will. You're like,
right.
they're not going to pay that much. And
Yeah,
like, I have friends who are like, I barely made money at the con. I was like, well, yeah, because you're selling your stuff for like $5
yeah.
when it should be more.
And it's like, I think there's a confidence issue there too. Like you were saying, like it's like they feel like their work's not worthy of that. And I always tell people, like, well, if you feel that way, what do you think your customers feel? If you think your work isn't good enough, then they're not going to want to put money down on it.
Mhm.
So you need
For
to have
as
more confidence about your
for
skill.
small cons, I print out two different price sheets, one higher, and then if I don't sell within the first few hours, I put the lower one in. For
Got
small cons, I don't know what people are going to buy at small, like especially if it's my first time doing that con. I'm like, I don't know. So I bring one with like my normal prices,
right,
and if that doesn't sell, I put the lower, slightly lower, because you can do that. You can always go lower, but if you start low, you can't just the next day or like in a few hours, someone comes back and they see that your prices are higher. Someone sees your prices are lower, they're gonna be like, oh, maybe I should get it since the prices got lowered. If they
right.
see that they're higher, they're gonna be like, why did this go up?
Why did you do that? Hey, it makes total sense to me. What does cosplaying mean to you as a person?
It's just fun. It's just a fun thing to do. It's exhausting, but it's worth it. Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm very lucky where I get to do this for a living. That doesn't
Right.
mean it's not hard, but I'm very, very lucky. And
Mhm.
I know that I'm lucky. But I don't know, cosplay is just like a good sense of community. There's a lot of horrible people in the community, but if you
Mhm.
focus on that, you're only going to meet more of them.
Right.
If you focus on all the positive people in the community, you will meet more of those positive people. If you're focusing on these negative people, you're going to see them everywhere. If you focus on the positive, you're going to see the positive because
Right.
you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
And it's just such a community and it can be so uplifting and so great. Especially I have friends who are really great at armor and I'm like, hey, can I have some tips? I'll give you some sewing tips. Like we can just do a little trade.
Right.
Or like I've had friends who I've styled wigs for them and then they've made something for me. Like we do a little trade because it's like, well, you're better at this than me and I'm better at this than you. So let's just do a trade. So it's really nice. It's just the community. It's really great.
I want to get in there eventually, but I have other projects like my comics and stuff that kind of
Mm-hmm.
pull my focus away from that. So I'll get there eventually. What is your last piece of advice for anybody who wants to do cosplaying for a living?
Don't take yourself seriously. That's all I can say. People, if you're taking yourself so seriously, like we're all just dressing up. Like, why are you being elitist? Don't be
Yeah,
elitist. Because like I've had friends who I was friends with before they like got any following, before they got any opportunities, and I helped get them opportunities, and now they're crazy, and now they're
right,
not my friends anymore. And I'm like, now they're too good to be my friend, and I'm like, bitch, what the fuck?
right,
Like I helped you. Like obviously they're incredibly talented, and eventually they could have gone there on their own because these are all incredibly talented people too, which is a real shame.
right.
um but, like I helped you get your foot in the door, and like I was like, oh yeah, I guessed at this convention, like I can put in a good word for you, I know these people. And
Hmm.
then they like look down on people, and I'm like, you started somewhere too. We all, you see the cosplayers who are amazing doing all these work, they all started not good, trust. We
Right.
all started being bad at our craft.
Hmm.
Nobody was amazing the first time they made a costume or a piece of clothing.
Right.
So remember where you come from. Do not turn into a monster. I've seen it
Yes.
happen.
Awesome. Well, can you tell everybody real quick where they can find you online?
At Authentically ANAIS on all everything except for Twitter because it's too long. Twitter, it's Authentic ANAIS because Twitter is doo doo. Um, yeah, Authentically ANAIS everywhere.
Awesome.
YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, uh, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, uh,
Yeah.
anywhere
Awesome.
else.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and I
Thank
appreciate you being
you.
here.